New Zealand alt rockers No Cigar have recently released their third full-length album, Under the Surface, a self-described collection of 12 dark and delicious songs. Great description. Today, joining us in studio, my illustrious guest, 1/5 of No Cigar, lead guitar and backing vocalist, Josh Morrice Scott. Thank you so much for joining us today. Ace.
Thanks for having me.
We're coming off the back, obviously, the album released the 30th of July?
Yes.
So we're about a week, last week, right?
Yeah, last Wednesday just been, yeah.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Interesting. Why did you guys go for a Wednesday?
It's new to us too. Well, Friday kind of works from the streaming perspective. It's release radar, comes out that day. A lot of new playlists get posted that day. But we've seen a few other kind of acts doing it. Spoke to our distributor who do it for other acts as well, and they said there's kind of no harm by Wednesday. You get a little bit more cut through between everyone else. Everyone else releasing on Friday, you kind of get Wednesday. You get that kind of office streaming that people will do. You know, like I always listen to more new music during the week than like on Friday. I kind of just want to listen to like my Friday playlist sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you get those 2 extra days of streaming, and it's just kind of like a soft. It feels like extending the party. You know,
Yeah.
Like you don't have to close the doors at midnight. You know, you got 3 days in there for the release week.
I always, as a hip-hop fan, I always felt hip-hop artists should drop on a Wednesday because I felt like by Friday, Saturday, the DJs have picked through the album and picked the stuff that they want to play, and I just felt like it always made more sense in like a club sense, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know if people still go clubbing, so I'm aging myself rapidly when I say that. Anyway, No Cigar, 5-piece band. Talk to us a bit about No Cigar. Let's get a bit generic, but I mean a bit of an introduction to who No Cigar are. So, what are you guys? Relatives, friends?
I'm trying to think if there is any relatives. There is no relatives, but we've known each other for like many, many years. Arthur and Ned, they were in bands in primary school together. There's some good photos of them back in the day. And then Sam and I used to live across the road from each other.
Oh, wow.
And he was playing bass and I was playing guitar, and we used to just play. And then I went to school with Willie, and Sam and Arthur and Benson went to school with each other, and it's all very kind of classically Auckland, small circle.
Yeah.
But that's how we kind of knew each other. And then it was only when we were like in our mid-20s that we started jamming together, the 5 of us. Willie had like relatively recently picked up the guitar and started writing songs. And he didn't really know what he wanted to do with them, but he wanted to kind of play them with people, and we were just happy coming along and jamming. And then it was a friend's kind of house party. They were like, we think maybe you guys could play in the garden or something like that. We're like, oh, well, if can I swear on this? Sorry.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Well, if we're going to have to like do a show, we should probably like kind of finish some of these jams that we've been doing and turn them into songs. None of those songs have ever seen the light of day other than that party. But it kind of made us go, oh, this is pretty fun playing live. We always like, I think 4 of us apart from Willie had all played live before with other bands, but that was it really. And at the end of 2019 we recorded our first single, Tickets to Space, along with like 2 other songs that again never saw the light of day. And just saw good success. We played Rhythm and Vine's like open main stage that year, which was crazy, as like one of our first, I think it was our first festival ever.
Really?
Yeah. There was only like 20 people there, but it was still pretty epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, then lockdown happened, COVID happened. It was quite good in some ways. It meant we couldn't like split up. I feel like a lot of bands when they're just starting, in your 20s especially, everyone's got a different idea of maybe they want to spend some time in London, they want to go to Australia, you know, and a lot of bands kind of have their lives cut short by those other personal goals. But it kind of locked us in, and we came out the back of like lockdown with an EP and an album, and it's kind of was like quite nice momentum to just be like, oh, maybe we could just keep making this work. I mean, we've had Sam lives in London, or has lived in London for the last 2 years, but we've kind of made it work. We've had CJ, our producer, play on tours with us. He's a bass player. He played in Marco Road on the bass, so it's kind of an easy fit. but it's a wonderful kind of journey, playing music with your mates and being able to do shows and tours. There's no kind of expectation, people obviously would like you to release more music, but like it's not like you have to, it's all up to us, whether we do more shows or less shows, and how many songs we make and how many songs we release. So it's been fun.
I mean, I would argue we've had 3 albums in 3 years?
Yeah, I think 3 years, yeah.
It's a great workout, right? Like output. That is a lot of music in such a short period of time.
Yeah. We're quite good at writing songs quickly. We're just not in the same room very often altogether. Like I think if we all lived in Auckland and didn't have day jobs and kind of just had 5 days a week to do this thing, it would probably be 3 albums a year. But that would be too many to release, like you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But I reckon, or just one really, really, really good one,
Do you have obviously with the circumstances around everyone's placement around the world and things like that and what people are doing, was there an album, how do I frame this? Which album was probably your favorite experience in terms of recording with the band?
Maybe the first one. Bienvenido? Yeah. Well, the most recent one we wrote, we've all recorded our parts separately, which was fantastic. It was just me and CJ. We went away and recorded guitars for I think 10 days, and we had 8 amplifiers and a wall of and we just kind of were mad scientists for 10 days, which was awesome. But there's something about the kind of collaborative in the room at the same time recording that that just is a lot more special. For Bienvenido, we went to Willie's family beach house in Mangawhai, and we kind of, it was a big decision for us. We all took 3, I think maybe even 4 weeks off of work, and we were like, okay, let's just go up for a month. And we pretty much just had a holiday to some extent.
Yeah.
It was awesome. We were in the ocean every day, and we were writing and finishing recording, and everyone was there, and kind of girlfriends and partners came up and visited, and that was as far as the answer to your question, what was my favorite recording time? That was probably pretty up there.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if we ever manage to kind of capture that essence ever again.
It's one of those strange things about the COVID period. We got some remarkable art out of it. And we also, I know talking to creatives, it was sort of 50-50, I feel, where some artists were like, I just couldn't find the motivation. Couldn't find that creativity being locked inside. And then the other half is like, oh yeah, I made the best work of my lifetime during COVID. It's such an fascinating period of creativity. And it's cool to see what we've got out of it. I mean, these last 3 albums, incredible. Obviously, we're here today to talk about the latest album, Under the Surface. So how long has this project been in the works for? When was it first, the idea was first born?
Our first kind of writing session would have been in, I think, November 2023, I think.
Oh, wow. So straight off the back of The Great Escape.
Yeah, we released The Great Escape and then did some UK shows. We did a UK show, a London show, a Manchester show, Paris and Amsterdam. And in between, at the start of that was when we started writing this album. Sam was in London living there at the time, and I was doing a trip with my girlfriend at the time in Europe, so I just stuck around. I think somebody else was also going to be doing something over there, so we're like, why don't we just kind of all get over there, and we got this Airbnb an hour and a half north of Paris in a place called Chantilly, which is one of the songs on the album is named after it. And that's where we wrote kind of the first batch of this album, and we kind of locked in, and that was pretty special. It was around the Rugby World Cup, which we unfortunately lost, but I think a lot of the boys were a lot more heartbroken than I was, I was just happy to be there making music.
Yeah.
You can probably feel that in Willie's lyricism, maybe, of those songs. But then the other half of the album was written mainly in Tawa, just north of Wellington. It was a long weekend. We played a show down there, and we were like, why don't we just extend the trip down there for like 4 or 5 days? Might have been Easter, maybe. The rest of the songs came out of that. Mainly most of the kind of darker, more rocky tunes. I don't know if it was the kind of crazy windy weather and the lack of sun, and it was kind of a very sharp contrast between like a quaint village north of Paris to like the windy hillsides of Wellington. But it added kind of a great dimension to it. And we knew we wanted more heavy songs, I think, at that point. We'd been reviewing the demos and had decided there was a bit too much of one specific flavour and wanted to kind of add more to the pop.
I was going to ask about that, how you approach albums. Do you as the band, do you approach an album or a project with a theme in mind? Or is it like, we're just going to put together the best music that we can and we're going to just put it together on a single project? Or are you trying to tell a story with each project?
Willie is definitely trying to tell a story. He writes all the lyrics. But like as far as kind of, language telling a story, Willie's always trying to kind of link all of the themes in his songs together, or his words together. Mainly around kind of, escapism and, like, I guess the search for something more. And also a lot of kind of romantic themes in his lyrics as well. Good and bad, the good, the bad and the ugly of a relationship. But from a kind of music or composition perspective, I think most of that comes from the music that we are sharing with each other, like other artists, inspiration and kind of, songs that we're digging at that time, specific kind of, it can be hyper-specific, kind of like a specific drum or snare sound from a song or something like that. And we're like, there's something about that snare that's just like banging. So we need to like try and recapture that essence. But yeah, I think from me it'll be listening to demos and going, I love all of these songs, but maybe these two are too similar to these two. And that happens because you're in the same room and it's over like 5 days. You write, 6 songs. They're going to kind of feed off each other a little bit. So having separate instances of writing and them kind of having that time to reflect on the first session to then sit down in the second session, you can reflect on that a little bit more and be a bit more, I guess, considered. But yeah. Obviously,
with the release of this album, we're not just being treated to new music, but we're being treated to quite a bit on the backside of this release.
Yeah.
We're getting treated to, first off, a ton of visuals.
Yeah, off the back of this album, we're going to be releasing a bunch of live videos that we shot at the end of our tour just been in the UK in a nightclub called The Cause, which is owned and operated by a Kiwi over there.
Oh, nice.
And it's a really cool nightclub. I haven't actually been there at night, just for the shoot.
Just for the shoot, yeah.
I think Willie and Arthur have both been a few times. And that was sick. We've always wanted to kind of show some of our live energy on video, whether it's like a live show or like a live session. And the best timing for that is always kind of in the middle of or after a tour. It's when we're the tightest, it's when we're the most kind of in sync spiritually and kind of performatively. So they're very exciting. It's something we've always wanted to do.
And we're also being treated to a Southern Hemisphere tour.
Yes.
This kicks off in Australia in October?
Yeah. October 23rd, we're starting in Gold Coast. And then we're going through as many places as we can do in 2 weekends. I think we're doing 10 shows in 12 days. which will be good. It's good when you're kind of on a roll like that.
That is I hope you guys are getting a bit of a break after that. That is a lot of work.
I think the following week is when the New Zealand tour starts.
Oh, man.
But that's only 3 shows.
Okay.
And in between each one, you fly home and you get some rest. So in New Zealand, we're playing in Wellington and Christchurch, and then in Auckland. So that's the 7th, 8th, and 14th of November.
Very nice. Great way to enter summer too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It'll be our biggest shows ever, I think. Well, definitely. We're playing at the Power Station in Auckland, which has always been a bit of a bucket list for us. We're all from Tamaki, so playing here in kind of the venue that we always were the most excited to see international acts when we were growing up is pretty special. So, it'll be epic.
Oh, and where can people find the latest visuals, find the tour dates, potentially find links to get tickets? Where's the best place to stay up to date with everything No Cigar?
Probably Instagram is the best place to stay up to date with No Cigar, but tickets would be nocigar.co.nz, and then YouTube for the live videos that are coming out, but we're going to be putting kind of snippets on Instagram and TikTok and getting the word out there best we can.
Yeah. What did I hear every Sunday?
Yes, every Sunday for the it'll be every Sunday for the live sessions. Yeah.
It's the one, I'm forgetting the name of the song. There's one of the live sessions that I got sent. Looks beautiful. Sounds great. It's very cool energy.
How heavy is the song?
I don't know if I'm a great judge of heaviness. I'd say maybe about a 5 out of 10.
Okay. So it's I was wondering, is it going to be maybe you got sent ketamine, but you didn't get sent ketamine?
No. I definitely wasn't that.
But that probably would have been Clean or maybe Maelstrom.
Maelstrom.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if is a reference to Cyberpunk 2077.
Could be.
But I did appreciate it.
Willie does like his kind of Cyberpunk's an anime?
Yeah, and a sci-fi sort of video game as well.
Yeah.
And a board game and stuff.
Yeah. Well, probably. Knowing Willie. I'd say so.
Yeah. Well, hey, Josh, thank you so much for joining us today on the show. Congratulations on the release of this third project. I think that the work rate is phenomenal. To be releasing this much music and touring as much as the band has been is truly remarkable. It's very impressive. Make sure to follow No Cigar on social media. We'll have links up to it on our story. But thank you again for joining us today, man.
Thanks for having me, bro.